This year, Tshwane University of Technology is celebrating 20 years since its merger with former Technikons. To mark this milestone, the Faculty of Humanities Alumni Chapter aims to revive the commemoration of the Guna Day in remembrance of Hendrik Guna. Guna was the first fatal casualty in the protest against academic and financial exclusion and transformation of higher education in the early 1980s at former Technikon, currently known as TUT. Now, for more insights on this, we are joined by Prof. Mashupye, Maserumule, who's the Executive Dean in the Faculty of Humanities. Prof, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this evening. How do you reflect on the significance of the 20-year celebration of the merger of the Technikons with universities in SA, particularly in the context of academic revolution and institutional transformation?
Thank you so much, Katlego, for hosting us this evening. We are quite grateful that we could actually have an opportunity to celebrate this milestone, the 20 years of our existence as the Tshwane University of Technology. We hosted the gala dinner, as we indicated, as part of celebrating this important milestone. However, also in the gala dinner, we emphasize the fact that the historical profundity of the history of the university does not just only lie in the 20 years of its existence, but also it does lie in its antecedents. When we talk about the antecedents of the 20 years of the existence of TUT, we talk about the epoch of Guna, as you correctly pointed out, that he was unfortunately gunned down by the system at that time when he was actually fighting for what can actually be aggregated as socioeconomic justice. So we are proud that we could actually have an opportunity to reflect on where we are actually coming from, but at the same time also celebrate the achievement that we've made as the Tshwane University of Technology, which perhaps I may also take this opportunity to reflect on some of the achievements that we've made as the Tshwane University of Technology. We have been chosen as one of the universities to host what we call the Institute of the Artificial Institute of South Africa, along with the University of Johannesburg. You'll recall that the idea about the institute came from the Presidential Commission on the Fourth Industrial Revolution, where it was recommended that such institute be established to assist the country in fully taking advantage of the 4IR technologies to optimize the existential value of various sectors of the economy. And also, perhaps I must also mention that only last week, as the Tshwane University of Technology, we signed a memorandum of understanding with the African Management Development Institute. And this institute, is a network of schools of governance in Africa, where almost all different regions that make the continent Africa are represented. And countries in all these regions chose TUT as a leading university to develop a postgraduate program intended to build state capacity on the African continent. And I must also hasten to say that we have been doing the same in the country through the National School of Government. And this was to the extent of training more than 8,000 public servants in the last 10 years since we partnered with the National School of Government. And these are but some of the milestones that we have achieved as the Tshwane University of Technology. And the gala dinner, therefore, was an opportunity to say to our alumni that this is where your alma mater is, but at the same time also to appeal to them to really contribute to the institution that it could actually even evolve from good to great. And maybe I must also mention that only yesterday we got the good news that as a university, we've been ranked as one of the best 15 universities in South Africa at number 12. And globally, we are at number 1,181. And these are but some of the great milestones that we have achieved since we became the Tshwane University of Technology from the 1st of January 2004.
Right. So, Prof, I mean, these are astounding achievements by the university, and congratulations on that being ranked 5th in the country. And I'm sure these achievements haven't come without some challenges. I mean, with the merger of the Technikon and the university, surely there must have been an impact on the landscape of higher education in South Africa. What would you also highlight as some of the challenges in integrating the diverse academic disciplines and the cultures?
Indeed, challenges were there, challenges were many. At some point, it appears as if some of those challenges were insurmountable. However, we had a team of leaders that were dedicated to make sure that this university became a success. Just imagine integrating 3 cultures into one institution. And also remember some of these institutions that you are talking about. You're talking about Technikon Northern Gauteng, which was initially known as Technikon Northern Transvaal, which originated in 1976 as Technikon Mabopane East. And also, still in 1976, we had Garankuwa Technical Training Center, which eventually became Sitlogelo and Technical Northwest. And in 1979, we had Technikon Pretoria. And all these are institutions that were created to serve different communities in South Africa based largely on racial lines. You know, the 2 Technikons, Technikon Northern Gauteng, Technikon Northwest, were largely created historically to serve black population. Technikon Technikon Pretoria was created largely to serve white population. So you can just imagine at the type of the merger, the challenges, the difficulties, of trying to integrate different culture. However, as I indicated, we had committed leadership that drove the process, and ultimately we are where we are. Here we are, we have made some significant milestones, and we are happy about it.
And of course, Prof, I mean, the fight for free education has over the years been at the center of the university. You spoke about that gala dinner in which you celebrated in Guna Day and its importance. How do you think young South African students need to continue in their fight for free education, inclusive education, in order to push for more young and underprivileged people to have access to the education that they so deserve?
Look, maybe let me start from here. To some of us, when we look at education, we are seeing an opportunity to recreate society. In other words, if you go to any country which has managed to really reinvent itself, assert itself in many ways in terms of development, at the center is education. And therefore, we must never, ever allow a situation where it becomes a challenge for our children to access education. And therefore, in that context, the call for free higher education or the call for access to education in general is critically important. It becomes our responsibility as universities, as the state, as the private sector to make sure that each and every deserving student get an opportunity to get educated. And to that extent, I think we need to all make sure that we consolidate our efforts. We forge some kind of synergy in terms of consolidating our innovative capacity to ensure that we generate necessary resources that will enable our students to access higher education. As the Tshwane University of Technology, we cater for more than 60% of students that come from a very challenging socio-economic background. How we structured our fees is in such a way that will make it more easier for students to actually also have an opportunity to access higher education.
Right.
That is why at some point we define ourselves as a people's university that makes knowledge work. And to that extent, we are doing as much as possible to make sure that we accommodate, particularly those students that come from very challenging socio-economic backgrounds.
Okay, Prof, thank you so much for your time. And of course, congratulations on those achievements in the 20 years of TUT. We certainly do hope that more students coming through your doors will enjoy the fruits of that education that was